Now, day 2 of the Joy Clean Ghana campaign came to an abrupt end on Wednesday after the assemblyman for Jamestown unleashed his wrath on the team of sanitation inspectors and the JoyNews crew covering the exercise. Not even the police officers who were providing security were spared. The assemblyman Joseph Addo, popularly known as Zola, slapped JoyNews' photojournalist David Andor and smashed his camera in the process. Despite the Accra mayor's intervention with reinforcement from the police, the exercise could not continue as the assemblyman caught up with a team in another section of the community to drive the officials out. Well, there will be more on this part of the conversation, but we want to concentrate on day 2 of the Joy Clean Ghana campaign. Here is Nancy Emefajradosi's report.
The team visited food vendors who were selling under unhygienic conditions.
Yes, we're AMA. And son of the first thing, so we said, see her and son of Betadino. What are some nasi? Inti your pouch, tomb, let's see her. We are never room, Sapphire, no started so why?
In another home, there was only one toilet serving over 25 residents.
Na sisi ya short toilet na ya wohono. Toilet no kra ho space ni ma eswa kitua na mu ye nipa boye 20 something. Na wo si mu use toilet. E kire se ebia mu ko toilet ni wo bathroom na mu chichirikire to baby meboa. Eba esa ayesa.
Mbese mi ko toilet mbe ko outside ho. Say toilet wo but me chichi toilet wo fi
bathroom. Mu ye. Chema portion I wo hono nyina no den na mu de ye.
The omu wo hani. Oh, so night no mu Jones.
So we serve them the letter.
I'll give it to Vera.
In the same house, the first floor of the story building was hanging loosely on the verge of collapse.
The room I'm living, the people here, they say it's a family house. So we pay. You pay rent? I pay rent. So you are a tenant? Yes.
You can cave in. Whoever is here can cave in and a disaster, a pending disaster here. Somebody lives here. All this is a corridor to people's room. So when we serve them the notice, we follow up to sit with them to find out what time is feasible for them to do what we want them to do. Because if we say immediate, maybe they will not be able to raise the money to do what we want them to do. So we'll follow up upon serving the notice to see how best they can put efforts together to reconstruct. But we'll make the first attempt to make sure that nobody lives here anymore. Because we'll serve them notice to get the people living here out. That is what we'll do first.
When are these people supposed to leave?
Yeah, today it is an immediate. The notice we are serving is a court notice. It's an instant action notice that we are giving them, and they will comply.
The inspectors, on seeing the gutter around the house choked with refuse, instructed the residents to clean up. Other residents in the neighborhood also took a cue and voluntarily began cleaning. In another house, where beans and fried plantain was being sold in front of a bathroom, the team found out the vendor certificate had expired. Several bunches of unripe plantain was also being stored near the toilet.
Please collect all these things and go and put it in your car. Yes, collect everything and go and put it in your car.
Everything, all the...
Her medical certificate is also expired. So, yes, so she's preparing for sale. She's preparing for sale to the public with an expired medical health certificate. It got expired on 6th July 2019. So by now she should have renewed it, but she hasn't gone to renew. So we can't tell whether she's medically fit or not. Yeah.
Apart from that, look at it.
Apart from that, bathroom. Yes, this is a toilet facility, and this is Yes. So you carry everything away.
The inspectors would not budge despite her plea and demanded that the unripe plantain be taken away as they were unsafe for consumption.
Please collect all these things and go and put it in your car. Yes, collect everything and go and put it in your car.
Shortly after that, though, the assemblyman stormed the house with some aides to stop those cutting away the plantain.
Please, they are obstructing them to collect the things, so we need your assistance.
Let's go.
The rest of the team rushed to the aid of the others who were being ruffled by the assemblyman and his men, only to hear that the JoyNews photojournalist had been slapped.
Now, why would the assemblyman want to obstruct this thing? Is it crazy?
Joseph Ado then ordered the team to leave the area. The director of public health at the point announced that the exercise had been called off.
The whole process has come to an end because we have been distracted, and we thought the assembly member in the area could have even given us his support. But he came to support his people, telling us that it's election time and very soon they'll be doing elections, so we do not have the right to come to tell people to clean their environment. This is where politics have taken us to. Does it mean that if they are going to have elections, you shouldn't clean your environment? If somebody doesn't clean the environment, the person falls sick and die. Would a dead person come and vote for you?
Police reinforcement called in by the Accra mayor eventually arrived. They accompanied the team back to the scene where the scuffle broke. But the assemblyman also returned to the scene and insisted that every member of the team should leave the community.
I don't like that. I was going to lay over here. If you are coming this way for me, let's go.
In the studio now is Chief Executive Officer of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, Mohammed Adjei Sowah. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming.
It's a pleasure.
Day 2 of the campaign, and is it stalled?
Well, thank you very much for having me. Let me say good morning to your viewers. We started this program on a very good note. It was a well thought out program. I spent a lot of time myself with Araba thinking through the processes. She came to my office a couple of times. I also came here. We had an engagement on this matter. So, and we knew that we could possibly encounter some of these challenges as we move along. But the least is expected from a committee leader, because you're expecting people who sometimes may be miscreants in the community that could pose a threat to us. So anytime they are going on the phone, they go in the company of our PR team, who are very conversant also with the area. The Metro Public Health Department, led by the director and her team, who have been mandated by law, quote unquote, some people to also do the enforcement. And then we have our Metro Guards also accompanying them. So this is a group of 3 that accompanies the Joy team to go out there and do the enforcement. Day 1 was very successful, and that was available. I mean, we had a support from the entire community, led by the assemblyman for the area, who happens to be the presiding member for the assembly. The presiding member, it's like equivalent to like the Speaker of Parliament, because he presides over the assembly meeting. So I was surprised to have seen what happened.
Yeah, but even with the Aveno, there was an incident where the community essentially were mobilizing themselves.
Yeah.
But that was controlled.
Yeah.
So it couldn't degenerate into anything.
Yeah, but I'm saying that we provide security to make sure that the team is protected. Where the incident happened yesterday was very close to the Jamestown police station. And I was on another errand, the second day of my first day at school, because AMA has a lot of schools. So we're still continuing visiting the schools. And then I had a call that this nasty incident was happening. So they needed reinforcement. So immediately I called the Jamestown commander that, look, your men are arms away from the incident. And he deployed additional men to the place. And you could see that on the camera.
Can I just backtrack to the guards that you have with the team?
Yeah.
What powers do they have? I thought that the police would also be part of this team.
And I'm saying that, yes, the Metro Guards also have powers also to arrest.
Okay.
I think that they were surprised and overwhelmed that a community leader in the person of an assembly member who is known, and he knows all of them as well, could act in that manner.
He asked the question, the assemblyman, that he was not informed. I know that this whole exercise is a surprise on the community.
Yeah.
But was he supposed to be aware?
Not necessarily, but we had pre-informed the entire assembly that this is a program which is ongoing and we could come to your community at any point in time. In any case, the point is that when we go into the community, we are looking out to see, when you go out there and announce to the community that the JoyNews is coming there, certainly they will clean up their mess before you come there. We want to make sure that we go to communities and see really what people are doing on normal day. And that's why we put up that surprise. But every member of the assembly has been informed, and that's why in any case, you can't also do otherwise, because even if you have not been informed, I mean, the public health department is quote unquote the Sama department of the assembly, and they are going about doing their normal duty like any other department of the assembly. So
this is something that they are required to do, even if there's no cameraman or photographer with them.
Every day. This is something that they do every day. The only thing is that we have partnered Joy, and they are putting sunshine on what we are doing, and the world is getting to know what is happening in the various communities. And we want to applaud Joy for what they are doing. In fact, with these two incidents and the publicity given, I'm sure many communities will be on alert that we don't know when the Joy team will visit our communities. So I think that we should continue doing this. You have our full support, and because it's our job, and you are assisting us. And let me
but if you look at some of your officers, especially the lady who called for the end of the process, this was also a surprise to her, that even if elections were going to be voting tomorrow, it still shouldn't empower anybody to stop them from doing their job. This is their basic core work, right?
I don't think we should use a statement by someone on the vote that because of his going to an election to promote a certain discussion. I am the chief executive here. I have been tasked by the president to make Accra clean. Indeed, the irony of this whole thing is that was the same location the president made the declaration that he wants Accra to become the cleanest city in the whole of Africa by the end of his tenure, hopefully. So one would have expected that this is a community where you would have a very clean environment anytime you visit there. And if this is what we find there, I think that we need to step up. It is a community just about a couple of weeks ago. I have given more than 100 bins to households over there. More than 100 bins for free. And that was a time that we had not even planned this program. So we tried to support the communities to live up to certain standards that we will all be excited about.
Are you surprised about the discoveries, though? The unhygienic nature, if you look at this woman who is selling right in front of her washroom, for instance, a whole household, about 25 people who are using one toilet. Is this any surprise to you?
Well, let me put it in this way, that, you know, in low-income and informal communities, some of these things may happen. And that is why the Public Health Department will continue to visit those areas and make sure that people do the right thing. Because compare, you know, a community like Jamestown to another area like JoyNews, they are two different communities. So the congestion alone could be part of the problem. So I think that we'll continue with the exercise.
Well, what's been because, you know, once people know that the team is in the area, they try to do the right thing.
Yes.
Can we always watch over people?
Well, I think that we've been, it's an attitude that had been part of our culture over a long period of time. And the president's statement is a wake-up call to all and sundry. And that's why we are excited that the media is also partnering us in doing these things. We have to continue with some of these things to a certain level that it will be in our subconsciousness that this is what we are supposed to do.
Let's go back to what you basically need in order to sell food, for instance, because I see the officers asking for some kind of documentation.
Well, I mean, for someone to prepare food for sale, you need a certificate from our Public Health Department, and the certificate requires you to go through some laboratory tests. So they will check all these technical things about you, whether you have some ailment which is contagious or not. So you'll be referred to a lab, and then the lab report will inform our Public Health Department, because we don't do the lab at all. The lab report will inform the Public Health Department whether you are fit to sell food for the general public, and that's a certificate issued to you as an individual. So even those who operate restaurants, the chef in the restaurant should also have this certificate. And then your eatery joint itself should also have a certificate, because your eatery joint is, we need to find out whether it's environmentally conducive enough for you to sell over there.
Okay.
Because you don't have to expose the food to flies and all kinds of things. You know? So the Metro Public Health Department, they are looking out for all manner of things that will make us environmentally clean.
Okay, so how do you then get the certification? I get the bit about the individual, because you go to the laboratory, nobody sees where you're operating from. But how do you get the certificate for the place where you sell? Because one would think that the place must be inspected. We must know where you're cooking.
We have team of Sama people, if I may call them so. They are Metro Public Health officers, but we loosely call them Sama. We have team of Sama people in all the communities, and they do that all the time. You saw in the video that the lady has a certificate which has expired.
Yes.
Which means that she's aware. She has obtained a certificate and renewed it over a couple of times, and this time she had not renewed it. So it is not something that those who sell do not know.
Okay.
Because our officers go around all the time.
Okay, but on this particular inspection, they realized that where she's selling is actually unhygienic.
Yes.
So I'm wondering how she could be renewing that piece of certification without anybody realizing that the location itself is not fit for purpose.
It's difficult to tell, because you may not know that where she placed the plantain could have happened just yesterday or 2 days ago or a couple of days ago. I don't want to hold brief for anyone, but the point that I'm stressing is that we have officers that go about and do these things on a daily basis. It is just that this time around, because of the partnership arrangement with multimedia, it's brought a sunshine to the whole exercise, which we are excited about. Though.
What's the, because I know that you had your challenges before this campaign. What are the challenges? We've talked a bit about security. I want us to end with that in terms of what is going to happen. But what are your key challenges?
I mean that we've been thinking and running through campaigns to change people's attitude, because ultimately it is the attitude of the people that is visible on the ground. So as much as you provide the necessary equipment and infrastructure, as much as you also continued to do the enforcement bit, the attitude of the people is a game changer. So we ran several campaigns on some of these things, but the attitude of the people have not changed to the best, and that's our biggest challenge. Look, I was at Agbogbloshie yesterday, a day before yesterday, and then I've been at Agbogbloshie for the past 3 days.
Okay, so since Monday.
Since Monday. Monday I was there. Tuesday I was there with the Minister for Sanitation, and yesterday I was there again. There's a main drain in front of Agbogbloshie market. If you desilt the drain, within a matter of a week maximum, you will see heaps of refuse in that drain. And the media will go there and take pictures of it, post it as if we don't do that one. But you will know that it's the same market woman who does these things. You continue to engage them. You continue to talk to them. We had issued summons even to some of them, and yet this thing continues over there. We had even, government as of now, had even asphalted the Agbogbloshie road. Just on Monday when I went there, they are selling on the road. You have to move them back. I went there again with the Minister for Sanitation. The Minister for Sanitation, we left to the Jamestown Slaughterhouse. She was still unhappy, so we came back to Agbogbloshie to come and talk to the woman again that this attitude of yours is not the best. So the main challenge is about our attitude of people. And I think that this drastic way of naming and shaming would put some fear in the people of Accra.
Okay, so what powers do you have in terms of the spot fines and asking people to do the right thing? If you found somebody doing the wrong thing, what could you do?
Well, I mean, we don't do spot fines. So what we do is that, as explained by the Metro Public Health Director, is that you issue summons, and we have to go to court and get summons. So once we get the summons, we issued it to you, and you are, some of it, it's a warning.
Okay.
Some could be depending on the gravity of the situation, and some could also be taking you to court instantly for the court to penalize you. So depending on the situation and what we do over there, but I think that as we move along, some of it, because we have powers as well, we take certain actions also to, for instance, you go to a location and you find somebody discharging an effluent into a drain. I mean, you don't wait for the court to come and, issue, you don't wait to come and issue court summons, and you take an instant action and make sure that the people stop. Thereafter, then you take certain actions and making sure that you go through the legal process.
Okay, but you can't find people.
Find people.
Yes, as in spot fine.
No, that's not what we do.
Okay, but if you took the people to court, where does the money go? If the court decides to find them, because I was thinking that if we it goes to consolidated.
Yes, unfortunately.
Okay, because I was thinking that if
I wish we could get the money, and I'm sure that will be a moral booster as well, because we've been trying to work out something like that. It has not worked out properly.
But isn't the whole court procedure something that is very long?
No, in fact, on issues of sanitation, I must commend the judiciary. We have sanitation courts. It's just that we have just few. That if you arrest an offender and take him to the court, cases are expedited at the court.
Okay.
So I think that it's not.
So it doesn't drag.
Long and winding process in the court. No.
Okay. So as we speak, I know that it's just day 2. Do we have we taken people on?
Sure. We've taken people on the very first day. I'm told that 2 people were arrested. 29 notices were issued to individuals for various reasons. So it continues. Okay,
but where are we with the court process? Because, you know, I don't want us to get tired because the court has adjourned. We haven't gotten to the bottom of it. Because the whole idea is so people can see and know that we will take you through the procedure. We will deal with you, as in the law will deal with you. So don't do it.
I can tell you for a fact that 95% of the cases are dealt with the same day.
Okay.
Are dealt with the same day. I don't have the records here, but I know that from January to April, over 400 cases had been prosecuted. I don't have the current data here.
Okay. Yeah. Let's end with this assemblyman who essentially distracted the process. Do you personally know him?
Yes.
Okay. What's the latest in terms of, because the police invited him really, but he didn't show. What's new? What's the update?
Well, the matter is with the police. And it's not within my domain at the moment. Okay. Once if the police had gone to court to get a summons to be given to him, so I think that we should allow the Lord to take his course. And let me take a cue from the president's statement. You know, in his response to addressing issues of corruption, state institutions are there. What falls within my domain, I'll handle it. Now the matter is within the purview of the police and the court. We'll follow up.
What's your own expectation? Because there are other assemblymen who are watching. If this one was able to do it, and you've done your bits, you say you're waiting for the police, but I guess what I'm trying to say is that the actions of the police will also count, because it would make people either learn from it positively or negatively. It will give people the opportunity to also want to do same.
Sure, and we are following up the matter with keen interest. I must say that we have decent assembly members who are community leaders across. Yesterday I was on the field with a lot of the assembly members, because as I enter into the schools, some of the assembly members joined me from Kaneshi to Choko to Kolegono, Mamplobi, all these areas that I went around yesterday. And, you know, we had a company of the assembly members and the sub-metro chair.
What's the formal relationship between the chief executive and the assemblymen?
It's open. I mean, we once you go into the fold, you engage them as and when it's necessary. The assemblyman is also doing his own thing in the communities. You come to the office and we have a conversation on issues of interest to the community, and then I'm supposed to take it up on as and when it's necessary. So it is quite open, and we are political leaders as well. So our tenure is time bound. We provide the necessary leadership to make sure that the right thing is done.
How do you re-energize the team? The team that was surprised absolutely yesterday, didn't expect what happened. How do you boost them again to want to go to the field?
I think that whatever happened yesterday cannot in any way demoralize the team. And I want us to end on a very positive note. I came to the scene myself, and I thought that even calling off the program abruptly came to my surprise, because whatever the case may be, it has not escalated to a point where you could call off the
Oh, so you
program.
thought that they could continue irrespective of the...
That's why I came there, before I came to even meet them. We all come from the community. I also come from the community. I've lived in the community before. I spent my time in the community. So these are people that we know, all that. So I don't think there's any cause for alarm.
Okay. Would we see the core team change in the next exercise?
Well, the core team will change depending on the location that we want to visit.
So would we see visible police officers with the team?
Of course, if it is necessary, we will see the police all the time. In fact, we have a police also within that will detail them to be part of the exercise.
Okay.
So that shouldn't be a problem. And I think that I want to end the conversation on a very positive note, that the exercise have been very useful. We've seen, results, and it's been a talk in town now. And I want your communication to re-energize all of us and do not dwell on the negativity, because that could also demoralize everybody and people will then focus on the negativity. We have made significant progress, and I think that we should focus on them. This is one of the things that happens in the line of the work that we all do. But
Absolutely.
I think that we are doing so well. And I must commend the multimedia team, Araba and the team. So the conversation should be more positive.
So we'll continue. We're going again.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chief Executive Officer of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, for your time and for this conversation. Because of this partnership, we will keep talking.
Thank you.
So thank you for coming through today.